We're going to continue solving systems of equations using elimination. Now remember, when we're using elimination, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be eliminating one of the variables. So we have to pick which ones we want to eliminate. What I'm going to do is I'm going to eliminate my y's right here. So remember, if we want to eliminate, what we need are opposites. I see a positive 2, so the opposite of a positive 2 would be a negative 2. So I'm going to take my second equation and I'm going to multiply it by a negative 2. Remember, whatever I do on one side, I do the same thing on the other. Negative 2 times 2x is negative 4x. Negative 2 times y is negative 2y. Negative 2 times 3 is negative 6. Now I'm going to combine the two different equations. 4x and negative 4x becomes 0. 2y and negative 2y becomes 0. 6 and negative 6 becomes 0. So what I have is 0 equals 0. As a lot of you have probably guessed, this would be infinite amount of solutions. And the reason why is because we have no variable. What we have is two numbers that are identical. 0 always equals 0. So all answers are going to work. That's why it's infinite amount of solutions. Now, looking at our second equation. This one right here is a little bit more difficult because we need to cancel either the x's or y's. Once again, I'm going to choose my y's, and the reason why is because these are smaller numbers, 3 and 2, than 4 and 5. Now, in order to create opposites, what I need to do is think of the least common multiple. What number does both 3 and 2 go into? And that number would be 6. So for my first equation, I'm going to multiply it by 2. When I multiply it by 2, I get 8x plus 6y equals 50. Now, for my second equation, remember, I want opposites. So here I have a 6. This one I want to be a negative 6. Notice I already have a negative 2. So in order to make a negative 6, I'm going to multiply it by 3. When I multiply it by 3, I get 15x minus 6y equals 3 times 14 gives me 42. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to combine the two different equations. Remember, whenever I have opposites, they always become 0. 8x plus 15x is 23x. 50 plus 42 is 92. Now I'm going to divide by 23, and x is equal to 4. What I'm going to do next is I'm going to pick one of my equations. The one that looks the easiest to me is the top equation. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the 4 and I'm going to plug it into the top equation. 4 times 4 gives me 16. So I have 16 plus 3y equals 25. I'm going to subtract the 16. 3y equals 9. So I'm going to divide it by 3. And y is equal to 3. So remember, I'm going to write it as an ordered pair. X comes first, y comes second. So my ordered pair is 4, 3. Now, looking at letter C, I'm going to do the same process as before. What I want to do is I want to create opposites. I see 2 and 5 and 3 and 8. 2 and 5 are smaller numbers, so I'm going to choose those to cancel. So the least common multiple of 2 and 5 is 10. So I'm going to multiply this one by 5. And when I multiply this equation by 5, 5 times 2 is 10. 5 times negative 3 is negative 15. 5 times 13 is 65. Next, I'm going to take my second equation, and what I want to do is I want to multiply it by -2. Now, why I want -2 is because when I multiply it by -2, -2 times 5 is -10. If you're looking closely, what you notice is that these two are opposites now. I'm going to continue multiplying by -2, so that gives me 16y, and that gives me -70. These are opposites. Opposites always add up to 0. Y equals -5. Now, after I find my y value, what I need to do is I need to find my x value. I'm going to pick the first equation again. What I'm going to do is I'm going to plug it in for my y. So I have 2x -5 times -3 is +15 equals 13. I'm going to subtract by 15. 2x equals -2. So I'm going to divide it by 2. X is equal to -1. Now remember, when we write our ordered pair, x comes first, y comes second. So I have -1 and -5.